10 Football Manager challenges, 10 brutal punishments, and 10 game-changing rewards in the ultimate mystery rebuild, of course sponsored by Surprise Shirts. Okay, this rebuild is going to be like no other. Whether it's a ridiculous challenge like keeping 65% possession and then being rewarded by getting 10 times our transfer budget, or if we were to fail the challenge, release our 5 best players. There are things that could potentially happen in today's rebuild, and it's going to be absolutely mental. But first we need to find out what team we are using for this ridiculous challenge. Massive thank you to Surprise Shirts for sponsoring this video. I asked them to give me a very difficult challenge, and it looks like they have. That is absolutely stunning. Look at that. It's got like a dragon all over the front. I'm not sure if you can see that. That is absolutely awesome. Let's have a little look what the card says. They have set us this challenge, and I asked for a very hard challenge because we've done a lot of rebuilds in our time. The Lampwick Major FC are a Welsh semi-professional side based in the town of the same name, in the Vale of Glamorgan. The club compete in the JD Crimeru South League. So we're going to the second tier of Wales. This stunning shirt produced by Welsh brand Tall Sports features a repeated dinosaur print. And if you lift the shirt over your face, there's an extra surprise. Now, I'm not sure if I can show you guys that. Oh, I can. That's on the inside of the shirt. I think it's about time we put it on. And I'm officially a Lampwick Major fan. Look at this kit. A nice green dragony kit. Now, of course, a massive shout out to Surprise Shirts for hooking me up with this unreal kit and save idea. And you guys can do the exact same as well. You need to head onto the Surprise Shirts website and click shop now and click the FM edition. This will give you a save which is guaranteed to be in the vanilla version of Football Manager. You can then choose how easy or difficult you want the save to be. Of course, Lampwick Major, quite an obscure side to manage. You can even choose teams definitely not to manage, like of course Manchester City. Now don't worry, I've also got you guys a discount code. I've actually got you 2 discount codes. Number 1, for a one-off purchase, use Kempi 10 at checkout. And number 2, if you want to subscribe and get yourself a shirt every single month, Kempi 20 will get you 20% off your first month's purchase. And this is of course the best way to play FM until FM 26 comes out. With the sad cancellation, it is no more dramas. We have a new way to enjoy FM with the kit of the club you are managing as well. So head down to the link description, Surprise Shirts, and let me know down below in the comments what teams you got from your mystery box. But for now, welcome to Lampwick Major in FM. This is going to be a fantastic journey, so make sure you're liking the video. Now, we play at Windmill Lane on FM, 1,000 capacity, which is horrendous. We are predicted to come 9th in the second tier of the Crimeru South. So this isn't going to be an easy challenge. Now, I don't really know if I've got any sort of end goal. I don't know how many seasons this rebuild is going to be, but I think we're going to get to a point where the mystery has happened. All the mysteries have happened, not all of them, but we've had fun with the mystery element of the season, of the save, and we've built a wacky team. I would, of course, like to win the top division of Wales. I mean, that shouldn't be too difficult, but if we have to sell all of our players every single season, that will be very, very difficult. I'd like to see if we can try to get into Europe as well. And I think just trying to take down TNS will be very, very difficult. 15 Premier Divisions for them between 2011 and now. They have dropped just 2 titles, and they're an absolute dominant force in Wales. But let's have a look at our starting team then. Some of our best players, looking at Kian Williams as a left back. He looks pretty good actually, very good defensively, good determination, decent natural fitness, just very, very slow. He is a 5-star player. Who's our star striker for now? Joel Woodington. He looks horrendous, doesn't he? Sorry, Joe, if you're watching this, mate. I'm not a fan. James Dixon at 35. 0 speed. Oh god, this could be interesting. I think to make this as fun as possible, we should start the mystery now. We should set a challenge. We should also probably do a punishment and a reward straight away, just to add the mystery element straight into it. That is why we have got the editor enabled, of course, so we can have some great fun. So for our challenge to start this rebuild, let's see what we have got. I have got 10 different challenges, 10 punishments, 10 rewards. Our first challenge is going to be set piece supremacy. That's where 40% of our goals this season must come from corners or free kicks. So we're going to have to make the most overpowered corner routines possible. And just to spice things up a bit, we'll give a punishment and a reward straight away. This is a reward. This is what we can get if we were to complete the challenge at the end of the season. For now, this is just an instant reward, and it's the sponsor boost, where we're going to get an imaginary sponsor boost deal of up to £5 million straight into our bank. So you can see there are some really overpowered rewards, but the punishments are also savage. So straight off the bat, let's see what punishment we get for our first of the rebuild. It is going to be a forced Wonder Kid sale, where I have to instantly sell our top 2 potential players. So instantly, I suppose Jamie Owen and Kian Williams, who we've already touched on in this rebuild, are gone. So congratulations, Kian, on your move to Manchester United. And the same goes for Jamie Owen. So instantly our 2 star players are gone. But remember, we did get the sponsorship boost, and our bank balance has gone from £574 to £5,574. And I think it's only right that 1% of that goes into our transfer budget. So we'll give ourselves 50k in transfer budget, and wage budget we will quadruple to 2k. As you can tell, this rebuild is absolutely wild. It is going to be very enjoyable, but in no way is it realistic. We are just having a lot of fun in the complete mystery of the mystery rebuild. And for our final piece of the intro, we need to create a set piece which is as overpowered as physically possible. Now, defensively, I'm going to keep things very, very simple. We're looking to be as normal as possible. The ball to be delivered into the near post. I'm going to show you a very overpowered corner tactic, which you guys are going to be able to copy and use. Balanced and in-swinger comes in as well. I believe I've got them saved already from the match of the day, which I done with Hood back in the day. Match of the day, West Ham. We were all using very aggressive near post corners, and this is it. Attack near post, attack far post, mark keeper, lurk at far post, and go forward. Actually, this one needs to be lurk at far post as well, or attack ball from next to edge of the area is fine. We basically want just one person attacking the near post. We just need one. That's all we need. Attack far post. Yeah, we go. One person at the near post, and that is going to be our big, strong header of the ball. Now, I'm not sure who that's going to be just yet. We need to pick the team, really, to get that in play. But this is the best way to score lots and lots of corners. If you want to copy this, it's very, very overpowered. Don't be surprised if we absolutely break the game in terms of our corner goals. That's kind of the point in this. It's very broken. And of course, if we do complete the challenge, we get our reward at the end of the season, not the punishment. If we fail the challenge, we get the punishment. I've just done all 3 to kick things off, to kick us off from a very random start. Now, in terms of our signings, because our team has been decimated by the punishment of losing our 2 best players, we literally don't have a striker. Not that we did anyway, really. So tactic-wise, I've got no idea what we're going to use. We don't really have wingers either. We do have a lot of midfielders, potentially a diamond with one up front. I've got no idea what I'm going to have to use for this. Centre-backs, we've got quite a few, but none of them are great. Luckily, we have got a very good goalkeeper. I think the start of this should really be just trying to build the best team we can, which I think very basically looks something like this. We have 2 absolutely shocking strikers up front, a pretty poor cam as well, a midfield trio which is about as good as we can get, 2 very attacking wing backs, one of them with 4 crossing, which is exactly what we need, but a 2 centre-back partnership which I actually feel semi-confident about, and an okay goal. He has 2 aerial reach. Oh no. I think the most important thing is to play for set pieces. We're going to do the classic overpowered FM bits. We're going to play out from the back, focus play down wide, low crosses, play for set pieces. We're going to be... these boys can't even be expressive, I'll be honest. We're going to counter press, we're going to counter, take short kicks, and we are going to high line mid block. I think is probably the best thing. Get stuck in, a little bit of press, and that is basically going to be the tactic. We are praying set pieces can save us. In terms of signing players, I am going to be looking at the highest reputation players we can potentially sign on a free contract, because remember, because that sponsor bonus, we have got a little bit of money to spend. And I'm going to go to the director of football as well, and I ask him for his free agents that play up front. Thank you, he has some. I'm going to go and get all of these on trial and see what we can build. And by the looks of it, our director of football is a genius, because he knows a bunch of Welshmen who are ready to come to this club, who are also basically academy players. but I think we're going to have to go down that route. And with a whole bunch of signings, the team is looking much, much better. Griffiths and Jones are our 2 strikers. Both of them are pretty awful, it's got to be said, but they're going to be good for this level, I hope. While Peter Jones comes in as a star midfielder, and the one big thing about him, he's decent on corners and free kicks and high determination. That's the exact sort of player we need. Someone that can semi-whip a ball in and semi-hit a free kick as well. Peter Jones is going to be a superstar. Thomas Tweedy on the right, Ralph in DM, Kelly, Walbioff, Bell, and my new right back is Jamie Miller with Adam Carswell still in goal currently. But I don't want to go too crazy. I know I've released the 2 starting main players at this club and then gone mental. We've not gone mental on money-wise. We've got £5 million. If we're going to become the best club in Wales, I feel like we need to use that wisely. So I am going to ask the board as well to improve the youth facilities, improve the training facilities, and improve the youth recruitment. There is different rewards that we could potentially get on the wheel spinner where we can do that ourselves, which would be absolutely massive if we do get them rewards. But for now, I feel like we need to go into the first season in the Crime Room South. Them signings alone have moved us from 9th to 4th. So I'm hopeful that we've made some banger signings and we can take Longwhit Major straight to the top. Now, our challenge this season was to have over 40% of our goals coming from set pieces. But also, I think it was very key for us to get promoted to the top tier of Welsh football. So while we did try and score a bunch of goals from set pieces, and I'll get into the stats of that in just a minute, I had to make sure that for season number 2, we were going to be in the top tier of Welsh football. So the tactic we created was actually very, very good. You can see in this game against Abergavenny, a 5-0 victory. Our 2 strikers were dominant, and from set pieces, we were actually pretty good. I mean, that won't count as a direct set piece goal, but I think it should. It was absolutely beautiful, the 4th of a 5-0 win, and thanks to this victory on the penultimate day of the season, we were able to win the Cymru South, finishing top on 63 points. And it's got to be said, it was difficult because only 1 team gets promoted from this division and 1 team gets promoted from the North Division to then make the Cymru Premier Division, where 2 teams get relegated. So we've really only had that chance to get promoted, and we did. And that was a major part of this season. Now, interestingly enough, we scored 71 goals this year. So if we wanted to complete our challenge, 40% of that would be 28 goals from set pieces. Now, I might have made that challenge a little bit too hard because we actually scored the most set pieces in the entire league. The corner tactics were great. We didn't actually score a single free kick though, and only scored 11 goals from set pieces, which means we do fail our challenge for this season. But I'm going to take a small win from the fact that we have got promoted. Now, that does mean we are going to get punished, which is quite sad because we've actually had a very good season. We got to the semi-finals of the JD Welsh Cup as well, where Carmarthen, who are in the same league as us, won it. And they have got Europa Conference League qualification football in the 2nd tier of Wales. So that's good to know. There is very much an option for getting European football from winning that competition. So that is going to be a major point for us in this rebuild, is to try and win the JD Welsh Cup and get into European qualification that way. The other 2 cups were absolutely horrendous. And the main thing for this season was our unbelievable free agent signings. Neil Jones, Dylan Griffiths and Lewis Owen were the 3 best players at the club. The 2 strikers scoring a combined 58 goals for us with 16 assists. Lewis Owen was really good in the assist mark, as was Sean Kelly at left back and Sean Wilson at right back. But for season number 1, we've actually failed our task, which is a complete pain. Because that means we are back to the challenge wheel and the punishment challenge wheel as well. And we've got to spin it. Even though we're the highest team of set pieces, we have now got the worst staff ever. And that's quite simply, we've got to fire every single member of staff at the club and hire the worst staff possible. Now, while you might think that is not a big thing, it is a very big thing. Now, our coaches aren't great. Let's be honest. We are 5 attacking, 6 defending in Ben Dudley. Our goalkeeping coach, Barry Whitlam, is 5-5-5. And our head development, Danny Griffiths, is great with youngsters, but that is about it. That does still contribute to being one of the best staffs in the league in terms of coaching. Our recruitment, we're going to sack all of these and get ones and everyone, and our medical staff as well. So I've got to go and remove all of our staff and have the worst possible. I'm gonna look for ones and everything. What? This is a complete wrong way of finding staff. So there we go. All the staff has been changed around. We have now Jordan Smith, who is horrendous at coaching. Jack Ellis, who is horrendous at coaching. Joel Metcalf, who is the worst head of youth development I've ever seen. Scouts are all awful, even though it says they're the best in the league. This guy couldn't judge Mbappe for a non-league player, let's be honest. Carl Graves looks horrendous, and director of football is awful, and our physios are all awful as well. So there is the punishment. Quite a nice one for season 1, it's got to be honest. The staff were already absolutely awful and weren't given much, but we have now got an even worse director of football, and the director of football was very, very helpful for finding these players, which are actually changed the way our team plays entirely. So that's a bit of a shame. Financially, the board have given us £2.7 million and 16k in wage budget. And as this rebuild is not about realism at all, I'm going to go mental and I'm going to spend as much money as possible and really try and build us into a team able to compete in the top tier of Wales. Now, as mentioned, I don't know how long this video is going to go on for. Probably 5 seasons, what I'll guess. My main goal is to win the Welsh division and to get this team into Europe. I don't want to care about winning a European trophy. Just being in even the Conference League phase will be massive for a team in Wales. TNS, I'm not sure if they actually end up doing it. They don't. They got knocked out in the Conference League qualifying championships to Larne, who are even Northern Irish club. They are indeed. So that's the sort of level of the most dominant side in Welsh football, and they are really dominant. So getting into Europe will be good. Around 5 seasons, I think, is how long this is going to take. We'll see. But our first punishment was quite nice. It's now time to go and spend all of the money we got from that sponsorship deal in season 1 and really build a powerhouse in Welsh football straight away. And when I was actually about to start going through all the transfers and building this team, but I've realised we need a challenge for next season because we might have to sign players based off this challenge. There is stuff like Tiki Taka Titans or changing our whole system around, which is what this is going to decide. And this is why Goal Machine is the one we have got. Now, Goal Machine states that we must score at least 2 goals on average over the entire season. So I had to build a tactic which is going to do that. Now, interestingly enough, we did score 2.37 goals this season per game, but we are, of course, moving up to the top division. And that is going to be a lot more difficult as we are going to be an underdog rather than one of the better teams in the league. So we're going to have to go gung-ho and probably put a 4-2-2. And after a completely mental transfer window, this is the team we have ended up with. Now, I don't know anyone in this team whatsoever in real life, but we have brought in basically a whole new team. I have been doing a lot of pretty much manual scouting, going to the players' range, looking by world reputation, bringing everyone in on a free trial, and then going from there, trying to look for some good young players in the lower leagues of England. I mean, if you look through the transfer history here, I mean, we've signed players from like Bishop Stortford, who's local to me, Hampton and Richmond, Chatham. I even looked at this man, PK Humble, because he's been everywhere in real life at the moment. I was actually at the Baller League first game week, which was really fun watching, and he scored the first goal, but he's not interested in joining us. But I do want to get PK Humble in at some point, because that'd be funny. Regardless of all of our signings, yeah, 500 to 1. We are so far off the competition, it's actually hilarious. Now, I have gone with my meta 4-2-2 for the one to go and get goals. Now, remember, we need over 2 goals on average to pass this challenge. Last season, we had 2.37, but we're one of the favourites for the league. This year, we are one of the worst teams in the league. I'm debating if we get about halfway through, I might just try and go and score loads of goals and take the relegation. If we get halfway through, looks like we're going to get relegated, I'm going to absolutely send it on the goal front and just try and score as many as possible, firm the relegation, and fight back. Our wage bill is going to be quite high, actually. A lot of the players I have signed are on like £1,000 a week. I mean, I imagine there's about 20 or £1,000 in wages. Don't get me wrong, that's not going to touch our sponsorship money we got in season 1. We're probably going to go down to about £3 million, but it's not sustainable, and we really need European football. So being the current media favourites to come bottom of the league is not ideal. Some of the star players we signed, I suppose we should touch on. We just signed this Greek central defensive midfielder, Stelios Alamadisis. How he's come here, I have no idea, but he looks quite good, actually. Archie Taylor is a new player as well. A good young right back with good crossing and good pace. I'll be honest, I pretty much had to do all the scouting myself, as we had one judging scout. So I looked for pace, I looked for crossing and fullbacks. Everywhere else, I looked for pace. Strikers looked for some finishing, but pace. And pace was the main thing I looked for. Joe Ling, you can see that, a very quick midfielder. He is a central midfielder, but I'm training him to be in DM, and he will get there eventually. Another player brought in. David Morai is a Romanian striker, quite a big guy at 6'1", so we'll see what he does. Eric Amayao is a very quick young centre-back. Kieran Jones is a good centre-back as well. Jack Bainbridge is a very good DM. Looks like he can play in CM Cam or centre-back as well. So lots of options from him. Archie Heron the same. I think what I'm going to do is go through the season and then touch on the star players at the end of the season, because I really don't know who's going to be good this year. Everyone looks pretty bad, but I suppose that's managing in the Welsh division up the Lumware Major. It's also very quickly worth mentioning the rise that this club has actually been on. And they were down in the third tier, or well, I guess that's the Welsh Football League Division 3, just out in 2013. They get up to the Welsh Football Division 2 just a couple of seasons ago, 2018, won that title, and then has been in the South for a few years. Obviously, we've just got them up. So a really big rise, which is why our reputation and all the facilities are so bad. I have been asking non-stop to get these improved, but sadly they're not being improved, which is really, really frustrating. I mean, there is a boost which we can get from the random wheel generator where we get to +5 in all of our facilities. So if you don't know, actually these are ranked on a 5 basis. I believe it's somewhere here. You can see exactly what they ask the facilities. I'll be able to go 6, 6, 6, 6, 10, which would be a massive upgrade and would really help. But so far we can't do that. We have to earn that from the wheel spinner. Hopefully we get that at some point, because that would be massive for this club. But for now, let's get into season 2. Now, the goal for this season was quite simple. Stay safe and score lots of goals. And when if goalkeeping is that bad in the top division of Welsh football, it is certainly going to be possible. And this season, it was absolutely mental. As mentioned, we were one of the worst teams in the league, so going for goals was going to also mean we would concede a hell of a lot of goals as well. I mean, just sorting this by goals in the game, there was 8 in one, 7 in so many, and we scored a lot, but also conceded a stupid amount of goals. Now, the challenge for us in this season was to score over 2 goals a game, and we did do that. We got 2.28, which is a big dub because we get a reward, and the rewards, as we've seen from the sponsor money, can be absolutely game-changing. But the question is, would we stay safe in the top flight of Wales? Yes, we would. But it wasn't easy. We started our season in fantastic form, and I actually thought we were going to challenge for the title, and then we slowly dropped off, eventually qualified in the second half, and finished down in 9th place behind Newtown by a singular point, but 6 points above relegation, above a university. So that shows the level we are playing at. But overall, I am very, very happy. We ended up scoring the second most goals in the whole league. I imagine we probably conceded the most goals. I'm actually very interested to see, did we concede the most goals in terms of goals conceded? We did. The most entertaining team in the world, I tell you. We score a bunch, we concede a bunch. Our star players this season, no doubt, were David Morar with 20 goals in 26 games and Archie Heron with 18 and 4. Both 20 years of age were very influential for us. James Hardy grabbed 13 and 9 assists. I imagine he's broken his leg or something, broken his wrist, so his bravery has dropped a fair bit. Lewis Owen and Dylan Griffiths both doing really well as youngsters as well. Neil Jones, a backup striker, scored 3 in the top division. Interestingly enough, the under-19s, they're all absolutely rubbish. And still, in terms of the club info, we are really struggling to get anything going. I'm asking the board constantly to upgrade these, and they continuously say no, which is really frustrating. Now, one thing I did touch on is the amount of money we spent on wages was going to mean that our balance was going to drop pretty quickly. And we now have just £3 million in the bank. So we need to go back to the rewards wheel. And number 1, I have a hope for money. Or number 2, there is such thing as a golden generation. And that would be massive. So let's see what we get on the wheel spinner then. It is going to be either rival raid or training overhaul. It's going to be the rival raid. And the rival raid is a very, very fun one because we get to go and find 3 players from the same division we are in and take them to be ours. And that's going to be massive in terms of helping us become the best team in this league. Now, obviously, the best team by quite some distance are TNS. Did they manage to qualify for European football this season? I don't think they did. They got knocked out in the Conference League by Budapest, which isn't great. So still no Welsh club in European football, which is a shame. In terms of their star players by value, I mean, he would be great to take, but we can't take him because he's on loan. He is unbelievable as well. Kean Ashford, he would do bits for us, I tell you that. We can, of course, sort this by current ability. He would be the best. Matt Sunday would be the next best, but at right back, I don't think he'd make too much impact for us. One thing, of course, we can do is come to the media season preview and have a look through this. Amande Ote is their striker. He looks to have really good pace. He scored 25 goals this season. Would probably be really, really good for us. So he's someone to certainly keep an eye on. Kroll is the striker for Pennybont. He scored 25, got 8 assists. Also looks really quick. Remember, we can take 3 players as well. So I think we need to look through our team and decide what positions we need. Now, Cam, certainly. Probably Cam, striker, and maybe goalkeeper because Roach isn't great. Ryan Hammond looks quite good at Connors Quay at 21 years of age. 6'5", great area reach, good handling, good reflexes. That's my first choice, is Ryan Hammond, £325 a week, is joining us as our new goalkeeper. And he's a 5-star player instantly. That is a big dub. So there is our first. I think we have to go with a striker. And I'm going to go with Ote, which does mean TNS are much worse. Or Kroll from Pennybont, who have just finished 6th in the league. I think we take Ote personally because he is going to mean that TNS are going to get worse. So we're going to take Ote, 12 finishing, 8 composure, good determination, good speed. Very happy with that signing. And the third one is going to be a midfielder. Now, Kean Ashford is obviously on loan, so we can't get him. Rico Patterson, 8 assists, 11, Cam from TNS, released from Aberystwyth. They signed him for 4.7k, got a 7.08 average rating, so he is certainly an option. Top of the assists is what I wanted to look up next was Corey Hereford, another Cam. Good speed, good dribbling, good flair. He could be an option. Danny Walker-Rice as a winger, not a Cam. Kean Ashford, of course. Dan Hawkins. It's between Corey Hereford from Pennybont or the Cam. I think we go with Corey Hereford because we're then not going to take 3 players direct from TNS. We're going to do it from across the league, and Corey is our next and is basically a 5-star as well. Not quite as good, but good flair, good pace, good dribbling, and I think that's a massive upgrade to the team. I mean, regardless, all 3 of them are they actually our 3? They are now our 3 best players. Rival Raid has been a massive dub. And of course, we need to check what the challenge is going to be for season number 3. Before we get into the transfers for this season, it is going to be homegrown heroes. And that's actually a very simple one, but it's going to be difficult to really improve our team because we are only allowed to sign Welsh players. They don't have to be homegrown at club or nation, but signing Welsh players only is what this is going to be for this summer. So I'm glad we've done that before making any transfers. So I feel like that was more of a punishment. We've just stolen 3 of the best players from our rivals and then had to go and only sign Welsh players. And given the type of club we currently are, the sort of Welsh players we can't sign isn't like, obviously not Gareth Bale because he's retired, but isn't good Welsh players. It's Welsh players released from are literally Welsh teams. So we have made 4 signings. Ben Margaretson was a centre-back. Reece Hughes is actually a really good cam for us. Dan Griffiths a backup striker, and Dan Jeffries another centre-back. They are literally the best players we could bring in, but because we stole 3 players in Ote, in Hereford and Hammond, we have had a big dub in terms of the 3 players that have been brought in this season. Now, in terms of our season preview, bringing them 3 alone has made us 7th in terms of the league preview, which is really, really nice. The thing that I don't really understand is, obviously, we brought in them 3 players and they are no longer in the media preview. So being at us makes players worse, apparently, which based on our training facilities and obviously the staff that we got stuck with because of the poor staff thing, I'm not really too surprised. Obviously, this season, the whole challenge was about only signing Welsh players. So that has been completed. So I suppose I'm going to set myself a semi-challenge to see if we get punished or if we get the reward of finishing in the top 6 bit, the Premier, the playoffy bit, where you could potentially get Europe rather than the relegation-y bit where you could potentially get relegated. And if we do finish in them top 6, then we're going to have either the reward or the punishment. So let's go for season 3 and see if we can have our best season in the history of Longwit Major. Well, getting into that top 6 in Welsh football was going to be massive for us if we could achieve it. And we started our season in the best way possible. A 5-1 victory. And despite losing to TNS 3-2, that gave me big confidence because they are absolutely dominant. We then went on a 3-game winning streak, then losing to the University. How that happens, I don't know. And then doing pretty well for the rest of September. However, our form did fall off a cliff in October. But was that enough to get us in the top 6? Because the actual top 6 finish comes down to the end of December. And in fact, we were facing up against Newtown once again in the playoff to see if we're going to be top 6 or bottom 6. And Morar got us off to a great start with an incredible finish from the edge of the box before the second goal coming from our rival reward signing of Hereford. He has been unbelievable this season, scored the second in this game, and we are going to grab a third as well thanks to our other rival reward, Ote, making it 3-0 in a pretty convincing 3-1 victory, and that got us in the top 6, but we did actually finish in the top 3, and we've got Europa Conference League football playoffs for next season, which is unbelievable. Our 2 strikers this year, David Morar and Arminde Ote, both grabbed 26 goals apiece, and we were fantastic this season. A 20 goal difference, and David Morar was a superstar. This guy has progressed really, really well. Decent physical stats, okay in terms of his mentals. I mean, technically he's okay as well. I don't really get it, but he's scoring 27 goals and getting a 7.35. So I'm absolutely fine with that, how big David is our star. The rest of our star players, we are looking at Armende Ote, of course, grabbing a 7.33. His pace has been really good for us up front, stretching the opposition. And of course, Corey Hereford in the cam role, 18 goal contributions and a 7.2. We made fantastic choices when doing the rival raid, and it really, really helped us this season to become the 3rd best team in Wales. Now, I'm going to guess we're going to be going into the first qualification round for the Conference League, but I've got hopes that potentially we can do it. TNS, once again, didn't quite make it. They got knocked out to Dudelange. I'm guessing that's in the 3rd round, was knocked out of the Champions League. So we can do it potentially, but it is going to be very, very difficult. Club info-wise, we are still nothing. We are useless, and they won't listen to me in terms of improving anything, which is a real shame. Now, obviously, we did complete our challenge of getting in the top 6 and obviously only signing Welsh players. So let's spin that wheel. Now, there is one on this wheel which I really want, and it is called Legends Return. It would completely change the rest of this rebuild, and we have got the Legends Return. Now this, I'm going to make Gareth Bale as a regen, so it's not going to be Real Madrid Bale, but we're going to make Gareth Bale as a player for the mighty Major. And here he is then, Gareth Bale, at 17 years of age. Now you can see based on the star rating, he is a good Crime Route Premier standard player. I have made his attribute details 110, which would make him basically the best player in the Welsh League with a potential of 190. The whole point in doing this is so for the last couple of seasons, we look to get Long Whit Major to the top of Wales. We have a bit of fun with a Gareth Bale regen. He is a right wing or a striker, mainly going to play in that right wing position, but good at max determination so he can really grow. And I have locked him here till 2028 as a minimum. So from now on, we basically get to see how a regen youth Gareth Bale can take a club and how far he can take them. This rebuild has been very, very weird, very, very different, and very, very fun. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure to smash that like button, as over 70% of you that are currently watching are not subscribed as well. Do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It helps me out massively, and of course, a massive shout out to Surprise Shirts for giving us this challenge. How fun it has been mental. I have absolutely loved it. Now, of course, that does mean we're going to have to ever so slightly change this tactic around. We are moving into a 4-2-2, but with wingers, because, I mean, Gareth Bale has to be in that right wing position as an inside forward on attack. Everything goes through this man right here. I'm very excited to see what he does next season. I hope I've not made him too overpowered. 110 seems about right. That would make him one of the best players in the league. I mean, if we look through our squad and our best player last season, who was David Moura, check out his attribute details. Oh, he's only a 59. Okay, we might edit him just a little bit. Ote, what are you set as your attribute details? 86. Okay, I'm going to downgrade him a little bit to around the 100 mark, just to make it a little bit more fair. Otherwise, he will literally break the game. I'm probably going to go through and just take one off each, and that should be about that. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. He is now recommended current ability of 91, which makes him a bit more in line with the best players in the league rather than being stupidly good. So that's a little bit of a change, but it had to be done realistically so we don't absolutely break it and make this challenge completely pointless and win the league every single season. Now, it's interesting to see. He could end up playing as a left back, of course. He could also end up front, but my plan for him is to go in that right wing position. We'll just have to see if that's where the game ends up putting him. I hope it does. I'm not going to lock him in there. And I suppose we also need a challenge for the next season. And our challenge for this season is going to be Clean Sheet Challenge. Okay, so I've got the Clean Sheet Challenge as keep at least 15 clean sheets in the season. That is very, very difficult. Out of 32 games, that almost seems too difficult, but it's fine. That's what we'll go with. This season, did we keep any clean sheets? We kept 3, and I've now got to go and keep 15. So that'll be tough. TNS kept 10. So, I mean, we've already got a superstar striker in Bale. I suppose I now need to try and make this system really good defensively and good going forward. So let me concentrate on that. Build a new team which can play defensive football, and then see if we can take Long Whit Major to the top of the Crime Route Premier. So this is the team we have built then. There has been many changes, and the tactic has completely changed. We have gone to Kempi's 5-2-3, a defensively solid tactic, which is going to build a base for then the attacking trio of Gareth Bale, Marcel Lewis, and Arminde Ote to go and score us lots of goals. I've heavily concentrated on bringing in better defenders. So Nico Jones, a very quick right centre-back. Fakaye, a very quick left centre-back. And the experienced head in the middle of Anthony Stewart. We have also signed PK Humble. Big up the legend. He is in the team as a backup centre-back and central defence midfielder. So very good to have him in as well. Defensively, we have just got a lot better. Our right wing-back isn't a half-star, don't worry. It is Archie Taylor, who we are training to be a right wing-back. And his stats are brilliant for it as well. So he will not have any issues there. I've basically just gone with a solid bank of a back 7, basically, and then pumped the ball along to the attacking trio. Marcel Lewis is a brand new left wing signing. Decent speed, good determination. Excited with him. This guy's going to be quite good, I suppose, Gareth Bale. And Arminde Ote up front as well is also very exciting. Now, the system does play very meta FM, and I have still got the set pieces on as well, because we need to try and do as well as we can from that. And of course, the challenge wheel for this season gave us clean sheets. The last season's 2, I think it was, is not quite going to cut it. Now, of course, this season in the Cranberry Premier, we are now the 3rd favourites for the title behind Connors Quay and TNS. But I think we have got the best team. I think when you put everything together, we have got the best team. So I think we're going to be able to challenge for the league in season number 4. I sort of mentioned I want this to be 5 seasons long. That could be absolutely perfect. And of course, we are in the Conference League this year. And this is a trophy I just want to get into. I want to make Longwood Major a European side, even if that's the Conference League. By the end of this 5 years, I'll be absolutely buzzing. I do also want to lift the JD Welsh Cup as well, because we haven't lifted that just yet. The team we're up against is Pristina. They are a Kosovan side with a 1-star reputation, decent training youth facilities, compared to us, who I believe is still half stars everywhere. Oh, we are now a 1-star reputation, which is nice. Just need to improve training and youth facilities and youth recruitment. With all this money, the board just won't let us do anything with. We are now spending £25,000 a week on wages, but I do think we've actually got a very strong squad for the division. And having someone like a regen Gareth Bale, Aminde Ote, and of course our star goalkeeper Ryan Hammond, they are all going to help a bunch for this season. And I'm very excited for this season. I have never really built a defensive tactic. I don't know how this is going to go. I am still set to positive. I've tried to do it tactically as I think it would work. I believe we need 10 clean sheets. I'm going to research that as the simulation is going on, see actually how many we need. But let's go into season 4 and see if Longwood Major can become the Welsh Giants we know they should be. Now, I thought it was only right that we would watch our first ever European game as Longwood Major go into the Conference League qualifications. It feels like a moment in history we have to watch. And I tell you what, it actually got off to a fantastic start. A long ball down the line, Gareth Bale finding Ote in the box for an early goal in this game, and them set pieces. We said we would need them as Nico Jones, our new centre-back, scores a second. We were pegged back, but away from home, we secured a 2-1 victory in what is one of the best moments I've had in recent times on FM, as Longwood Major actually win a European game. And well, the second leg was absolutely mental. We won 6-5, a David Morar quad of goals, 45th plus 1, 51 and 69. The absolute legend sends us into the second qualifying round of the Conference League, which sadly saw us draw up against SK Rapid, who are a massive club in Austria. I mean, a 3.5-star reputation. It doesn't feel fair at all that we've been drawn against them. They beat us 6-2 on aggregate, and we end up sadly not going into a European competition for this season. But it means if we do have a good league position this year, I think we're pretty set to try and go for it next. And the reason I say that is because we started our season in absolutely electric form, and we didn't lose a game for the first 8 in a row. There was a few too many draws in there, but it does look like the defensive system seems to be working, with 3 clean sheets to kick things off. As we go into October, we draw to Barry, lose to Pettibon, but do grab 6 wins in a row, even finishing off with a 2-1 over TNS with a Gareth Bale brace. Our form carried on being absolutely fantastic, but was it going to be enough to potentially win the title? And were we going to grab them all-important 10 clean sheets? And well, TNS have finished 4th this season. So we had to capitalise and win the title, and that is what we done on 64 points, 18 wins, 10 draws, 4 losses, 4 points clear of Colwyn Bay, and 7 points clear of Pettibon. This is the first ever time Longwood Major have won the top division of Wales. A massive, massive achievement. And of course, we've been helped a little bit by the mystery wheel, the likes of Gareth Bale and Aminde Ote coming into the squad. Bale 4th on average ratings, Ote 2nd on goals scored. But how was it in terms of clean sheets? Well, let me tell you right now, we didn't keep the most in the league. We needed 10 to complete the challenge, and we got exactly 10 in 32 games, which I'm very happy with. I am not a great tactical genius on FM. I don't know how to really do the whole defensive side. The 5-3-2 though, or 5-2-3, seem to work pretty well. This base in midfield, team struggled to get through, 10 clean sheets, absolutely buzzing with that. We conceded 34, so just one more than Penabon, and only scored 60, so it wasn't like we blew teams away. We were just defensively sound. Possession-wise, kept 55% of the ball. And interestingly enough, in our actual schedule, you can see there was 3 games in the final 6 where we kept clean sheets, where we were actually just so good defensively, which clutched it up massively for us, which is huge, which means we do get a positive spin on the wheel for the 5th and final season, which is massive. We do have to talk about Gareth Bale. He's quite good. 21 goal contributions in 24 games. We've definitely done right, though, by doing his attribute details down to 90, because I think we've just found a really good right winger rather than being completely game-breaking. Interestingly enough, he's not improved in stats at all, obviously because our facilities are absolutely rubbish, and he won't get better really until he moves. I'm sort of going to leave that in the capable hands of you guys on Patreon. If you do want to tick up this save file and all the tactics and everything that has been included in this video, that'll be linked in the description in the Patreon. £5 a month gets you access to all the tactics and rebuilds we make on the channel, and it helps support me massively. So if you want to carry on with Long Whip Major with this Gareth Bale, you can probably sell him for some decent money, or move him to a club like Spurs and take £10 million. You've got the editor. This save is all about fun, and I think I've had a great time doing it. So going into our 5th and final season, we need to get a nice spin on the wheel. Team-wise, Amundi Ote was brilliant, 38 goal contributions, Morrow was 16, Bale, Marcel Lewis, Benji Purcell was great with 11 assists, Matt Penny with 11 assists, and Ben Margaretson taking up that right wing-back role, 11 assists as well. Even man like PK got 2 assists, a goal in 7 games. Legend of the club already. What a hero. He is already here. But yeah, let's get into that wheel spin and get our rewards for completing the season challenge of clean sheets. Now, I've got absolutely no idea which one I want on the wheel this time around. I've got pretty much everything I could possibly want. We are going to spin into... It's going to be Rival Raid again, which is interesting because we are now the best team in the league. So we're going to have to try and go and take some players from the clubs around us and make us even better, I suppose. Now, looking around the league, top goal scorer was Max Woodcock at Connors Quay, grabbing 23 goals, 7 assists in 34 games. He has scored 67 and 105, and a consistent bagsman for them up front, so certainly an option. Tom Stagg was the highest average rating, a striker also grabbing 23 goals from Colwyn Bay. 7.36 is very good, determined, good finishing, good composure, decent speed, 6'1". Tom Stagg could be an option. Sheikh Kone, a striker from Newtown. I mean, we're okay up front, to be honest. James Kroll, also a striker. What about assists? We've got any left wingers? No, Brian Quam is a right. I mean, to be fair, a right wing back could be good. I wouldn't mind Brian Quam as a right wing back. And in fact, I'm just going to make that choice. So this is our first one. Brian Quam is coming in. Right wing back option. Complete wing attack. He's okay. Good dribbling, okay speed. I mean, it's a decent choice. We're a pretty good team now in this division, so to find him on 5-star probably isn't going to happen. We probably should have looked at DJ Esadale off Connors Quay because he is ranked better and done very well this season. Up front, though, we don't have anyone. So Haverhand and Oyatunde. Daniel Oyatunde. Not great finishing, but great first touch. He's decent speed. Didn't do amazing this season, though. And Haverhand... Curtis, from Colwyn Bay. Didn't bag all the goals this season, but composure, finishing, good speed. Curtis Haverhand is the man I want to lead our line from now on. 4.5-star player. There he is in the bag. And should we take a defender? Who have we got here at the back? We've got Chancel Matondo from Bala. He is a Congolese centre-back released from Arsenal. Actually looks really good. Either-footed, decent speed. Not great defensively, though. Matasunde from TNS was an option at right back a few seasons ago. Would be a really good right-sided centre-back, and that's the option I'm going to go with. Matasunde coming in as well. Another star into this team, and instantly that is a few other stars to help Gareth Bale. I think we've done pretty well there, to be honest. We have strengthened the squad a fair bit. And now, before I do anything else, let's get into the challenge for our 5th and final season. I want to set in a personal challenge of getting in to a European League phase. Right then, the challenge for this is going to be the 5th and final season, alongside getting European football is going to be, it's going to be hat-trick hero. Now, it's pretty much what it says on the tin, and this won't really have too much impact on the rebuild anymore, as we're not going to get anything at the end of this, but we're going to have a little fun anyway of trying to get a player to have 3 or more hat-tricks in just one season. And for context, looking through the schedule last season, it looks like David Morar had 1 hat-trick and Armando Ote had 1 hat-trick, but neither of them got 3. So the new striker, Curtis Averhand, is going to have his work out, but he does look absolutely brilliant. A little bit inconsistent. I actually probably don't mind that, because if he could be inconsistent but grab 3 hat-tricks, that's all I really need him to do. So if we can see him up front, and yeah, I'm pretty much going to stick to this system as well. I might go a little bit more attacking, a bit more aggressive. Now we are the best team in the league. But overall, very, very happy heading into this final season. Financially, we are okay. We've got enough money to survive. 2k in wage budget as well. Still no one really coming through the under-19, sadly. There was some really cool like regen boosts in the wheel spins, which we didn't manage to get. So if you do want to see another surprise shirt mystery rebuild, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. But let's get into Season 5's transfer window and build this powerhouse. Well, we are at our Champions League game, our first qualification of it anyway, and we've got a slight issue. Most players that we are trying to get in have not yet joined. So our squad is only half built. Well, I say that I'm only really missing a star centre-back. I think we've done very well in terms of building this side so far. I have just signed Tom Lowry, who was a Welsh DM, who was lucky enough to be registered for this game. Other than that, there has been no more signings actually come into the squad. And we are looking at bringing in, I mean, Jake Clark-Salt was a massive signing, Sai Shashdev, Heji Mongona, Yaku Traore, and Billy Viga. But this Champions League game, we're up against Dynamo Batumi in Georgia. And I wonder if we can beat them, even though we have only half of our signings. It's going to be tough, but let's see. But I tell you what, I think we take that at 1-0, but sadly, Haverhand got a straight red card. So he's not going to be available for the second game either, but we should have a bunch of our other signings come in, which will be very good. Billy Viga could probably go up top for that game, although is he going to be able to be registered? Probably not. So I guess Ote will go up top. All the stress, I tell you. And well, thankfully, all of them signings are now in, but confirmed none of them are registered for this game. We have actually had a very good transfer window. Miles Kenlock, Tom Lowry, Haji Mongona, Billy Viga, Jake Clark-Salter, who is a top-tier championship centre-back, has joined the club at 29. Sai Shashdev is an Indian right centre-back who looks really good, really, really quick. And Yaku Traore as well is a really good defensive midfielder. When they come into the team, if we pick this by best 11, we are going to have a much better team than we have ever had in this rebuild, which is really good. I mean, Hammond, who was a 5-star, is now just a 2.5/3-star goalkeeper. And overall, it is a big difference, this team. It moves Matt Alasunde into right wing-back, Haverhand up front, and the other one, Brian Kwan, we signed, will drop to the bench, which is a bit of a shame. But this team does look really, really good. I mean, Armando Ote is on the edge of not being in this team. That's how good we've actually got, which is cool to see. But let's get in, though, to Season 5. Can we get Champions League football? Can we get past Dynamo in the second leg here back at home? Well, the game started in possibly the worst way possible, as 12 minutes in, Dynamo took the early lead thanks to a back post header from Akbari, and we needed our superheroes to turn up in this second half to get us back on level terms. Olasunde Alamidis and Arminde Ote scored to get us just a goal behind, and who else to put us on level peggings than that man, the legend's return at the back post, Gareth Bale. That was the 75th minute, and just 60 seconds, yes, 60 seconds later, Matt Ulasunde from the right back position scored a worldie from 35 yards into the bottom corner to put us through in the Champions League. Which means we're going to the second round. Don't worry, we're not now in Champions League football, so we've got the second round to go through. But the good thing is, if we now get knocked out in the second round, we'll drop to the Europa League third round. If we get knocked out of that, we go to the Conference League fourth round. But you never know, we might end up playing Champions League football still. Or maybe not, because sadly we faced up against Astana, who are a pretty big European side, to be honest. When it comes to the smaller European sides, they are always going to get a qualification somewhere. They beat us 6-3 on aggregate, despite the brace from Armando Ote. it was sadly going to be the Europa League next up. And then, thanks to a 28th minute red card, we were knocked out of that as well, as Jake Clark-Salter, who was meant to be one of our best signings, gets sent off despite Bale's goal. We lose 2-1 aggregate to Slovan Bratislava. And all of our hopes are now on the 4th qualifying round of the Europa Conference League, which, by the way, I would still be absolutely buzzing with, as I haven't seen TNS get there yet. We'll be the first team in this rebuild from Wales to be in the knockouts of a Champions League, or a European competition. And the team we are facing are North Macedonian side Shkendia Tetovo. And the first leg was a proper battle. The game was 2-2 thanks to a 92nd minute equaliser from Billy Vega, for him to bring it back to Wales to see if we can do the unthinkable. And as if it was the exact same as when we faced Dinamo, we got off to an awful start. As 12 minutes in, Tam whipped it in and Ali J scored for Shkendia to give them the early lead. But a wonder free kick from Benji Purcell levelled the game up in the 18th minute. And in the 58th minute, Purcell whipped it in. A backstick header fell to Nico Jones, who scored and sent Luntwit Major to a European League phase. Look, that, even though we've done some shenanigans in this rebuild of the mystery element, is a massive, massive dub. The team we have got should not be able to compete on this level and get into European football. Despite having a Gareth Bale regen, Haverhand up front, Ote on the left wing, our team is nowhere near good enough. But we are in European football, and I am very happy with that. But for now, we need to get back into the challenge we have got for this season, which is to get one player to score 3 hat-tricks. And I don't believe it was Haverhand, as he scored just 18 goals throughout the entire season, which wasn't ideal given how good he has looked previously. We can see he scored a brace against Bala Town, but I believe that was it. And in fact, this was a pretty poor season. We did end up winning the JD Welsh Cup, which is great, so we do get Conference League football, because we finished 3rd behind Colwyn Bay and Connors Quay. Despite all the money we've spent, despite being what I would imagine to be the highest salary per annum, which we are by 300k to TNS, we don't win the league. And the system we've got hasn't quite worked. And I'm going to say something right now, it's not quite worked in the hat tricks either. So if you guys do want to punish yourselves on the Patreon and give yourself that punishment, at the start of this video, you'll have seen all the punishments, rewards, and challenges flash up on the screen with exactly what they are. If you do want to do this yourself, you can do that with all of them. Billy Vega got a hat-trick, Gareth Bale got a hat-trick, Arminde Ote got a hat-trick somewhere as well, just there. But other than that, there was no more. We did get 3 hat-tricks, but all to different players, sadly. So that bit has failed. Financially, over £2 million in the bank. Luntwit Major are a much bigger club than when we joined. A massive shout out to Surprise Shirts. Remember, get your own FM edition box and do a challenge like this using code Kempi10 on the single purchase, or Kempi20 to get 20% off your first monthly subscription purchase as well, making it just £27 that first month. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Surprise Shirts. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you guys next time.